Hi, everybody. Hey, what's going on? It's Friday. It's time to rank some 8-bit Nintendo games. We've got a fresh batch of games to rank. These games were suggested by you. This is all your fault if you're part of the Gerstmann advisory panel. And you can sign up for that or check out some of the other tiers and you get a variety of action. Over at patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. Dopeassvideogames.com will also get you there still somehow. We've got we've got Mega Man 2 here at the top. What's at the bottom? Raid 2020. 470 games on our list. We're going to start this week with a game that I do not remember fondly, and over the years I've seen a lot of discussion about it in a positive light that I find hard to swallow. But we're going to return to this game. We're going to return to the scene of the crime. And we're going to see how this one fares from a scientific perspective. Let's take it over here. Let's get into the zone here and see what the scoop is. This first game comes to us from I need to set this up here. There we go. Oh, I need to make a minor change here, and there we go. Okay. The time is now for a game from your friends at Broderbund. You know, the print shop people. Where am I looking? Hello. Hi. You know, print shop, spare change, load runner, Droll. There's some fantastic games with the Broderbund label on them. Is this one of them? It's Legacy of the Wizard. From your friends at Falcom. Published here by Broderbund. I believe Namco did the deed in Japan. Technically, I believe this is the fourth game in a series on the MSX2. And I remember really playing quite a bit of this and never getting anywhere in it. Password. So we've got multiple characters we can use here. What do we got? Is like a mother and a father, a daughter, a son, and a dog, a dinosaur, whatever this dude is. Before we go out, we can go and we can pick some inventory. This is a really fun inventory screen that you just walk around and pick up the thing. We don't have anything, but, you know. Now, if I remember correctly from reading about it, there are items that only specific characters can use, and each one of these characters has their own abilities. But I never got anywhere in this game. Oh, I'm spending my magic. We're wasting magic. And so I never knew what to do. I still don't. All right, we got a couple of options here. Okay, fall damage, good to know. We've got a ladder going down. Over here is a castle. And that's it. Okay, so I can aim down, and it's like I walk down into the screen and up. Like it's a weird. There's something weird about the perspective in this game. Something weird about this entire game, really. We got a key. I'm going to try and play this a little carefully. Great. Oh. Were those like weird skulls that hurt me when I collected them? Skull rings? Great. Great. Just leads you over here. Okay. Ah! Get off me, you fucking... Oh, yeah, there I did it again. Okay, apparently I can't go in that door. Wait, that's enough for me to take fall damage? Are you shitting me? So if I jump and fall down one floor, I take damage. But if I just fall down like 2 floors, that's like whatever. What? Does it disappear? I failed to jump over it. Ah! So it is kind of an open-ended game, or rather, you know, it is something of an open world, but different characters having different abilities means that, you know, certain characters are going to be able to go places that others aren't. Fuck you. Do I want to go to this inn? Maybe not. I don't. Why did I go up this way instead of just walking across the bottom? I mean, is it because there were monsters down there? Is that why? I have a lot of money. Should I go back into the shop and buy stuff? There's a shop down there, but I don't... Can I even get there? Ah. No fall damage there. Okay, I bought that. Ah! All right, I got a glove. Gotta love that. It didn't seem like there was a way forward there. Yeah, I bought that thing. I got the glove. This is probably the most I've ever played of this game without dying, because I'm, again, taking some amount of care. Not that much, but... Alright, we'll keep going this way. I guess there was a ladder I didn't take back this way, wasn't there? Oh, great. The move fast and take more fall damage power up. Yeah, this was the... Or should I go back and change characters? I don't... I'm sure this is a situation where there's like a correct order to play, you know, to use the characters. But we're doomed. If I remember correctly, the manual was mostly focused on the story stuff that was not, you know, in the game. If I stand on top of that guy, can I climb down there? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, so apparently he is not a guy who can use the glove? It says 1, but like I got I assume retro achievements wouldn't have just given me an achievement for getting a single glove if you could have multiple gloves, right? Find the glove. All right, here's one of these. Great. Oh, that's not a thing? This isn't a... Great. Got a lot of keys. Did I take damage from that? What the? All right. Oh man, I was blinking like I was invincible, and yet I still took. Great. There's a dragon or a statue thereof. I don't know. Seems like a cool dude. Oh God! Get away from me, you weirdos! Why would I want to go in there? A lot of inns around. So I don't know where we are. I don't know how to get back to the family other than, you know, dying. With the way this game is structured, I would assume that losing a character to death would, you know, prevent you from finishing the game, but I don't know if... I don't know if there's a way to resurrect characters or what the story is, but... Well, thanks. Yeah, more of these. Cool. Okay. Cool spot here. Go this way now. Yeah, I just, I think this game is, kind of separating, like, my childhood disgust from this, and trying to kind of look at it with fresher eyes. Like, there's something interesting about this, but yes, the word I was going to use is, yes, inscrutable. I think that's a reasonable thing to say about this game. This guy's in the background? What are we doing? He still hurts me, though. Oh, now he's not in the background anymore. This led me back to this same area. So I think this is a game that if you were to just reissue it with some tweaks to, hey, here's how you find stuff, or the lightest, slightest bit of indicator about where to go next or what to do, maybe that would take the fun out of it, because that, without that, what is this game? But at the same time, I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I think my problem with this game is actually this maze-like level design is not actually fun to engage with. Of sitting here and staring at this and going like, okay, well, that ladder goes this way. If I go this way, if I can get to that big ladder over there, then that would be a way forward. But that's trapped in by that, so we need to. Oh God. Can we get up there? Looks like we can, so... So we go this way, and then... Life's getting... Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little bread. Now we're down here. This is not doing us any favors in terms of like, oh, can we figure out a way back? As far as I can tell, but... Ah! Congratulations, you fell on some bread and then you fell on some spikes. Deal with it, dickhead. Like, why are we... Well, if an enemy ever respawns, I can climb up and get up here. Otherwise... Well, can I do this? I don't think I can I? No, I can take 2 instances of fall damage. That's cool. That's real cool. Okay, there we go. Fuck you! This is such a Now that's what I call fun. You would not you adore this game, but also you wouldn't recommend anyone play without a guide. I feel like what you're saying is people shouldn't play this game. Man, that just took all of my health. Oh, is this guy just invincible until he activates and I gotta... A terrible situation. Got keys, might as well use them. Can't get through whatever that block is. Probably need something else. And now we're dead. Okay, I thought you lost characters when they died. Well, we don't have that glove anymore. So... So that's cool. Basically, it's like we're starting from the very beginning. No, he doesn't shoot through those types of blocks, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play any part of this anymore. Like, I don't want to walk through these areas again and go, let's navigate this dumb fucking maze. And, you know, like, no, I don't. Very terrible attack. The family pet. Apparently immune to monsters. And so I can just climb up and down them at will, like a little freak. Little weirdo just jumping up and down over here. All right, we got that, whatever that is. Are we just back up here? Is this where we were, right? This is the... So, you know, like, I gotta say, like, this game is cool for its kind of open-endedness and its willingness to just say, fuck it, dude. Get out there and figure it out. But also, it does not feel great. That's a real problem. I think a lot of the layout stuff is really I can't just land on the top of that ladder and But yeah, this ended up being the sort of game that, like, you know, Nintendo Power was there for you. I don't know if Nintendo Power did mass for this. It was just kind of, because this is kind of early even for that, but it is that sort of game where it's like, oh, I guess you just kind of need to like stare at the solution and play it that way because you don't have any hope of playing it any other way. And I think that's not cool. That's not. That doesn't mean it's good, you know? Yep, there's these. But like they have some ideas, right? I think that's the thing about this game is hey, what if you played as like the family pet and the family pet didn't take damage from enemies? You know, like they're taking some of the power and movement variances from a game like Gauntlet and turning it into this kind of side-scrollery, open-ended sort of thing. Metroid-like, perhaps, in a couple of ways, but I think maybe just a little too esoteric for its own good. I think, you know, you could have... Not a lot of bones being thrown in this game to the player. Not a lot of, hey, here's maybe a slight indicator. And I think, you know, depending on how you've built your world, that's fine or it's not fine. You know, I think it's the thing that separates it from a game like Metroid, where, you know, because of the things they give you access to in the early parts of Metroid, you kind of find your way there, right? I think this, they maybe just throw a little too much at you in terms of the directions you can go in, and just like the individual look at the individual levels, screens and stuff of like, look at these dumb fucking mazes, and by the way, there are invisible blocks that, you know, you're gonna need to find in order to proceed, as opposed to you're gonna need to be able to find a bonus item or whatever. Like, I think that there's just stuff around that, you know, yeah, it's very much a make your own map kind of game, or, you know, look one up, I guess. And, you know, we wouldn't be that many years away from more games saying, oh, screw it, man. Like, the map is in the game. And I think that's ultimately the solution for a lot of stuff like this is like, oh, hey, just give me a map screen. Obviously, that's easier for some games than others in terms of how much cart space they had to work with and whatever, you know. Plenty of technical reasons why you wouldn't necessarily do it, but I think the idea of a game that, you know, you are kind of behooved to play with a guide, I don't think that's a positive. I think that's generally just a negative thing. Let's see if can I jump high enough to reach? Guess not. Well, here's this spot. So I guess if I wanted to go back, this would be the way back. Ah! Evil lion. Also, the fall damage situation of a lot of forced fall damage, items that take away kind of a significant amount of life, that are like in a path like this that you cannot avoid. I think that stuff sucks, man. I think that's shitty. This is like right here. I should be able to shoot these or make them disappear. I should not have to like walk off screen to get it to despawn and walk back on. That is a garbage solution to this. That is a fucking just an unfriendly thing to do. But I think ultimately my largest problem with the game is like the layouts of screens like that, where it's like, look at all these tight tunnels that you're navigating, these little maze-like things. Like, I think that layout is unfun. I guess I already went this way, didn't I? Good. Good jumping on my part. Yep, nailing it. There was a... Is it here? No. Is it down here? It's down here. That's that glove again, I bet, right? There is something kind of peaceful about playing as this little goofball and just being able to walk around. Like, I can still give these guys the business, which is, you know, essential because you need keys and stuff. Yeah, this isn't so bad. You know, like I said, I have a real strong dislike for this game. Hey, everything did disappear. Just because I got it with the cross. I think the fall damage situation with when and where you take it is complete bullshit. Like that's a terrible experience. That aspect of this game is just fucked. And between that and the little poison ring things and stuff, you know, there's just stuff in here that, yeah, it's just an unfriendly thing. It kind of just didn't need to be this way. I don't know, man. I'm taking a screenshot of this. I'm never gonna do that again, though. I'm not gonna play enough of this to let me leave. So she can use whatever this is. Jump real high. I mean, I could have just bought one of these things right here. Good, good. It's good. It's smart of them to put their inn at the bottom of like a big fall, you know, because when I put items back, oh, I like that those stayed. I like that those items stayed there, even after I went in the end. That's a cool move on their part. That's cool video game stuff. Yeah, I think, you know, if this game were, you know, somewhere between 5 and 10% more scrutable, I think that would go a long way. Like, if you were to do a version of this now, you could, you know, write text somewhere in here that says what any of this shit does. What do I gotta wake it up? Fuck, what am I doing? Why am I here? All right. Cool. Right, I can't go this way unless she's no. If I was here with a different character and a different item and a different this and a different that, then maybe we would get somewhere. I think there's just a certain amount of like the aspects of trial and error here are time consuming in a way that I don't know that I have the patience for in this day and age. You know, as a kid, maybe I would have, but as a kid, I found this game completely fucking insufferable. So I don't really know what the answer is. Thank you for putting your in right here at the bottom of this. I don't have enough gold to get much of anything here, but... Well, that was fun. That was a fun little loop around. Okay, so this is all the way... Okay. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I guess I would say this game has some clever ideas, and that's maybe about it. I don't know. I guess I don't think any of it is actually like fun, which is a kind of a problem. Like, I think there's some stuff here, like, academically you can look at and go, oh, there's some really neat ideas here, and, you know, the way that they did this kind of, you know, somewhat non-linear experience, the way they built it, you know, there's some interesting things, and, you know, but I think there's just a lot of stuff here in the execution that I don't want to do, right? I mean, that's the kind of the big issue is like, none of it feels especially good. And that's its biggest problem. You know, like none of this feels like fun or good to engage with, like moment to moment. You know, the movement feels weird. Like, it feels like a top-down game in a side-scrolling world. The way I can kind of walk up, or, you know, or look down. A lot of it just ends up being clunky. And so, you know, what it does do, I think, ends up being kind of lost in the shuffle, because, you know, and I think this was the big turnoff for me back when the game was new. It's just like, dude, fuck this. Ultimately. And I think there are a lot of games like this that, you know, you kind of look at and think, well, you know, I want to see where this all goes. I want to see what happens here. I want to see what the situation is. And so there are plenty of games with, like, clunky mechanics that you just sort of stick with because you need to know. But, like, nothing in this game inspires me to think, like, I've really got to play another fucking 20 hours of this, or 10, you know, like, I've got to look at a map. I got to figure out exactly what's happening here because I need to know. Like, no, nothing about this is inspiring me to learn more, you know? It's like, I think it's a few too many things like this, of just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't have the right shit here. You know? And, presumably one of the other characters has the right shit here, or maybe, would I use the glove to move blocks? Maybe that would be a thing. And, you know, some of that stuff is in the manual, which, you know, you're not getting when you're renting games most of the time. Well, great. And there you have it. Legacy of the Wizard. Not quite as dismal as I remember it, I guess I'll say. But like such a specific flavor that I think, I guess I see why people would be like, oh, this is a great game. I think if you stared at maps and all the other stuff and that was something that you were down to do, then I guess that would make sense. But too messy. Just ultimately, I think that, that level design or the and not necessarily the shape of the world and the idea of it being more open ended. That stuff is fine, but I think it's the individual screens themselves. It's the look at these shitty little mazes and ladders and like the way that stuff is assembled. I think that stuff just sucks. I think it doesn't feel good to navigate. And I think that's the largest problem with the game is just like it's a world that's not very fun to navigate. It's a bunch of tight corridors. It's a really ridiculous application of fall damage. And all of that stuff just kind of adds up to something that is just overall unpleasant to play. And so I think that there's a nugget here. There's something here that you look at and go, yeah, there's it's a game that had some ideas for sure, but ultimately the way it assembles those ideas is largely miserable. And I think that there's a certain aspect of that like, if you're willing to kind of embrace that misery and sit down with a map alongside you. I mean, God forbid, like the people that like drew their own maps and played it with no, like good on you, I guess. But like by the time a lot of this stuff was coming out, you were starting to see more and more of this stuff in magazines and what have you. And so there was definitely an aspect of it that was like, I'm going to get the magazine and I'm going to look at this and we're going to look through the player's guide and find these maps and whatever, in addition to, whatever stuff they would slide into the manual. And I don't think that's a great answer. I don't think that's a great solution to what is found in the game. If anything, it feels like that's the crutch. That's the, like, someone sat down one day and took a look at it and went, fuck, man, we can't just put this out. It was like, I don't want to put 10 more pages in the manual. That's going to raise our costs this amount and all this other. Like, yeah, but we have to. Like, we got to do something. All right, we'll figure something out. So yeah, I think it's a pretty it's pretty bad. Ultimately, that's the net, right? Is just like, yeah, you could make a lot of excuses for this game. There's a lot of stuff you could say to try to talk about how amazing, but ultimately, no. That's not to say that it is thoroughly uninteresting. Like I said, there's things about it that I think you could look at and latch on to, but not enough to offset all of that other stuff. So we're certainly sub Dragon Spirit, the New Legend. We're certainly below Journey to Silius here. It's no wampum. Golgo 13, I think, is actually like a similar game in a lot of ways when we talk about magazines and their role in making kind of like bullshit video games less bullshit, and Nintendo Power's role in that it's a weird you think about it, like the marketing end of Nintendo and trying to get these games across to people and the things they did under the guise of an editorial publication. I think that stuff works both ways, right? Where it's like, oh, we're putting, we're going to put stuff in here that's going to help people that already bought the game, but also we're putting things in here that will ideally make someone want to buy it, And so, the maps of the mazes for Golgo 13 end up being like pretty vital for playing the game in that era, in that kind of pre-internet era and everything else. And I think that's, when I look back on that, it's like there's a sense of nostalgia there, right? Of just like, oh yeah, and then you get the magazine, you do this. But I think when you really spell that out and think about it, that sucks, man. That's, I think, a gross, kind of thing. And, what that could have done to game design, because, yeah, there were certainly selling. I mean, was this were we in the like MOOC era of Japanese games? Of like those types of strategy guides and things existing, or was this before that? I don't actually know when a lot of that stuff started, but certainly in Japan there was a market for strategy publications and game specific strategy books and everything else, and I think that you end up in a situation where that leads to you wonder, right? Like that is the ethical quandary that you think about, is like, did they do this on purpose because they wanted to sell a lot of guides? And how do you reconcile that sort of stuff? But that's, I don't know, that's the era also, pre-internet, pre everything, other than selling guides. So, I don't know that you can like judge it too harshly for that specifically, but I think when you look at the game on its surface and what it is and what it isn't, I think that stuff is, not great. Golgo 13 is a better game. Space Shuttle Project is a superior product. You'd be better served with a copy of Solstice, The Quest for the Staff of Deimos. But ultimately, I think, like, is something like this, Dino Wars Destruction of Spondylus has, it's a very straightforward game, right? Like that's a thing of just like, hey, here's a situation where it's like, you walk to the right and sometimes you're a dude and sometimes you're a dinosaur and you can punch and or shoot. And that's very, very straightforward. But ultimately I think, like that stuff is just a lot more playable. Like, even just when we think about the moment to moment action, Dino Wars is a better game. Which kind of leads me to the conversation that I've been having in my head ever since we started playing this, which is Legacy of the Wizard better than a Milan's Secret Castle? Milone's Secret Castle. And Milone's Secret Castle is a better game. Also, a game that I think ends up kind of deals with something relatively similar in terms of just like, bump head to find box and push this random block. And, there's an aspect of Milan's Secret Castle that is similar in terms of just like, here's some bullshit, fucking touch everything and see if you can find the walls that disappear. And I think that stuff, is a bummer there as well. But Million's Secret Castle, I think it just ends up being a much more playable game. And I think that Legacy of the Wizard is similar in some ways, but Milone's Secret Castle, I think, just ends up being a little bit more engaging, and it's an action game, and in its own ways, it's a more straightforward game than Legacy of the Wizard, which is not to say that it is a straightforward game. It's a game where you're like, oh, there's a door here, and I walk in here, and what's here? Nothing. Why is there nothing here? Oh, I guess I need to go play 3 other levels and push this and find this exit and do this and bump head here and do, and touch the glove and get small and do, and all of the other cockamamie fucking horse shit. That Millions Secret Castle wants you to do. And I think that, as interesting as the like music aspects and Mylan being kind of an okay character himself, I think that all of that kind of works in conjunction to make it a better game than Legacy of the Wizard, which is not to say it's a good game, but certainly better than Legacy of the Wizard. I guess the question is, are we in the right spot? Is this, I don't think it's like one worse than Milone's Secret Castle per se. But as we scroll down the list here, I'm trying to find the bottom. It's better than Eliminator Boat Duel. Is it better or worse than Toxic Crusaders? Toxic Crusaders is like there's layers of bullshit in that game that are really not fun to engage with. It's better than Toxic Crusaders. It's better than Defender 2. It's not as good as Spiritual Warfare. Let's work our way down just to make sure. It's certainly not. It's not as good. It's no Conquest of the Crystal Palace. It's no Demon Sword. Base Wars, Legend of Kage. It's better than Spiritual Warfare. It's better than Legend of Kage. It's better than Base Wars. It's no Demon Sword. It's our new number 229. One of the fun things about doing this, of which there are many, but one of the fun things that I'm finding here about doing this is having these games that in my head are like the worst games I played as a child. Legacy of the Wizard is a game that, has a certain amount of legendary status in my head for some fucking straight bullshit. Some fuck this game type shit. Some yo, what the fuck is this type shit. And so being able to revisit those and also being able to play a wider swath of the NES library and realizing just how deep the pit goes, and looking at some of these games that are down here below it on the list, you get a different sense of perspective for some of this stuff, where it's like, okay, Legacy of the Wizard, not a great game, but dude, like, rein it in, man. This is the same platform where, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends was published, like, try to maintain some sense of perspective here. This is no Pesterminator, the Western Exterminator. Even if we stick to licensed games, you're still looking at stuff like the Uncanny X-Men and, Home Alone 2 and Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival. Don't even get me started on Athena. It's funny, though, a lot of people think that this list is just like me saying games that I like in the order that I like them, and and whatever, but like there's no better proof of the science at work here when I tell you, me personally, if I was just making a list of the games that I like in the order that I like them, I would much rather play Athena than Legacy of the Wizard. Like if I had to choose one or the other, it is Athena 10 times out of 10. And holy shit. Fuck Athena. Thanks to Seed of Power for recommending that one. It's a game that I've been dreading for a little over a year now. As we've gone through this process, its presence looms larger in the, and now we're on the other side of it. But we're not on the other side of this. This is... I find it ridiculous that this game came to the 8-bit Nintendo, but it sure did. It's Impossible Mission 2. Shiny wanted to see this. Impossible Mission, known on computers, not so much known as a console game, for sure. These games are hard to parse. They always were. And I imagine on the Nintendo, it will be rough as well. This game is, from the looks of things, unlicensed. No speech. I could not tell you for certain if Impossible Mission 2 had speech at the beginning of it, because I was mostly an Impossible Mission 1 kind of guy. So here we have an elevator shaft. We have a bunch of controls here that we can fuck around with, and so on. We have our cool jump, our cool flip jump. This is the only jump you can do, and it always takes up the same distance every time. We must walk up to paintings and other things in the environment and push up to search them, while not getting zapped by robots. Okay, apparently it only stops here and here, which is not good for me, a person who... Oh, God. Oh. I was not... Okay. I thought that the robot was dropping mines or bombs or something that was killing me. I didn't realize. Search this phone, and we get... these are tokens that you can use at the computers to search... That's the most amazing piece of audio I think I may have heard. Like, the fidelity on that scream is fucking crazy. Ah! So you're meant to go around, and so you find these, as I understand it, and I have always found these games to be a little fucking ridiculous. Oh, okay, sure. Did I hit my head on the wall? Okay, all right. That's... Search this painting. We found a light bulb with a smiley face on it. I don't know what that does. We found the number 1. There we found the number 2. So does that show up here now? Yeah, we found a number 1. In the first game, you would find puzzle pieces, and there was like multiple colors of puzzle pieces that you would find, and you would have to assemble 3 different colored puzzles in order to win. You see, we have this countdown timer here, and so you have to contend with that. That seems like a lot of time, but every time you die, a chunk of your time goes away. And so here for the sequel to this game, and I'm more familiar with the first game, though the first game is also ridiculous nonsense. It seems like that they replaced all of this stuff. All of the kind of elevator shaft puzzle solving stuff is different than it was in the first game, but by and large, this action is kind of the same. This computer looks different than I remember the computer looking here. Well, like, so you can, much like Zillion for the Master System, when you get to the computer, there are commands you can issue to it if you have the right items on you. And so we can, there you see we have frozen the robots. Great. Now that's up there, and we're just pretty much fucked. Unless we die, and then it resets it. Also, the robots are moving again, which is not awesome. But one of the commands you can issue on the computer is to reset the platforms. That was what I just got. So you have, but those are limited, and so those are limited items here. We can, we have the ability to, see, I spent one of my robot freeze things here, and so now I only have 4, and we can also reset the platforms with these as well. I did the light bulb one. I don't know what that does, but here we are. And so really it's about you going to these rooms, platforming your way around them to find whatever pieces of the code you need to find to, I guess, win, or to solve whatever puzzle you need to solve. And then you need to do all that before time expires. It is the basic structure of the game. And I think that they are games. Oh, do we have multiple colors of numbers? Is that the difference instead of the multiple colored puzzles? Yes. Cool. We got a tape deck. We found some additional time, I guess, is what that probably was. We got a number 7. We got a hot 4. We got a cool 5. I got smoked. And the number is different every time, and I have to imagine that the location of things in the world is also different. We did not finish searching that. It will save our progress that we made searching through that desk, though, so we can just very quickly go up and finish. And so, you know, the rooms here are all about you very carefully doing this and then running away so we don't get zapped, and then coming back and doing some more of this, and that's the game. This game is, you know, I think thought of as somewhat legendary on the Commodore 64, and you know, it's been a long time, and I think that I'm okay now to say that I think this game, both of these games are some real bullshit. When you got this game on a floppy disk that, you know, you just ended up with somehow because that's how you got games then, it was one of the coolest things around, because look at how fluid the jump was, and just like on the C64, you just didn't see shit like that ever. And it had speech in it, and it's great. But I think, you know, if we're being honest with ourselves, so I think that means this is Tower 7, and there's the map scrolls. Was that what it's doing? It's like showing me 8 for a second there. And then who knows what this is? I guess maybe are we looking for a desk? Is this an indicator of there's a useful item hidden in a desk somewhere in position 8? Maybe that's what that means. Let's go back to our numbers here, and since we found many more numbers. It likes that too. It lights up found when I hit him with the 2. But I don't think I have unless I can go left from this elevator shaft up here. I don't think I can go. I don't think I have the ability to go to any of the other towers. The other thing I'll say is I think that this version is like maybe clunky in a few additional ways. This robot is like astounded that I'm here. Maybe if I had some audio recorded that I could play. Into this robot, that would open the elevator. Maybe that's what that's for. Who can say? Who can say, really? I don't think we gain anything. You know, we could go look at that phone, but I kind of want to look at these other rooms here to see if there's anything that resembles that desk. Nope, there's a phone there, and then we got... it's a great it's a great sample of falling. Like it's amazing. And it's playable, you know, like this is, you know, you could do a lot worse than this in terms of like porting this game to another platform, but you know. I found a 7. So I used I used something to swap this platform over to the other side, and then that pulled it out from under me, and I fell to my death. Oh, and I don't think I can go back this way. There we go. But I guess the question is, like, is the first Impossible Mission actually a good game, or is it just a really cool sound clip? Yep. Yep. I mean, there's a painting and a safe in there, but I couldn't tell you how to even get there, honestly. Like maybe if, you know. I guess that would be how you do it. Is if I crouch, and if I'm like crouching and push to the right, it will. Good. Yep. This is going good. Nailed it. Do I need to do this? No. I don't think I can do that. I'm just going to go this way. There's a desk. Okay, he smushed me. Nailed it. I got a 4. We got so many numbers now, man. Well, our thing down here didn't change, so it wasn't pointing us to that desk. Okay, so 4. Looks like I don't have whatever this number is. But this would appear to be 4 and then 2. And then we need some more of this color of number. Somehow. Anyway, that's Impossible Mission 2. So what if I go... Okay. All right. We hit that. Nope, that didn't do what? That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything at all. Great. I thought maybe that would move the platform over to the right side and then I could use that to get up. Because this one is the reset one as far as I remember, but I thought that this one would be the like, move them. I picked bomb. Didn't seem to do anything. I don't know. Wait, is this like what? Wait, can I not get out here now? Is it? Oh, I gotta jump. Fucking weird. So I just can't really think of a way to get... So I can do this. Oh, this one, that moved that. Yeah, so I can move that there, and then I can get killed by it, which is pretty rad. Pretty rad. Maybe what we need is up here in these computers. Maybe if I just fumble my way through these jerks for a little bit, we could find the last number. These jumps are terrible. Ah! All right, maybe if I use the... Well, they still kill you when you touch them, right? So this is a bad... that's not... I don't think I can jump over them. Oh! Can I bomb the floor? I don't know. Picking bombs didn't really seem to do anything. Oh. Oh! Well, this changes everything. Haha, that platform's stuck up there now. What's inside this vacuum cleaner? Is that the 8 that we need? Could be. Whatever. Good. Fuck you! It's a great sound sample, though. I turned around and that killed me. All right. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Complete. Now what? Can I take an L? Can I go? Ah, so now we can... If I push up here, it just kills me. So you can see how much time gets taken away every time you die. And now we've got a whole new set of rooms to visit. So that's this game. They made it, more complicated than the first game in ways that I don't think make it a better game. Oh, I'm gonna get shoved. I think one of the big problems with this game is and I would say this, I guess, about the original versions of it even, is I think that just a lot of this kind of like platforming and a lot of the stuff they've done here is not super good. Let's look at like one or two more rooms and then call it. This is one of those situations where you look at this and go like, I guess this is a decent port of this game, and that's kind of interesting, but like that doesn't, like, I think that this is a really rough one. This is a really rough one for the platform. I'm not sure that there's a way for me to get to that phone. Like the smoothness of the animation and some of the things there are the things that kind of help it stand out on the Commodore 64 in a way that it kind of, I would need to, if I move this, no, whatever. Nailed it. And so it becomes, a series of smaller puzzles about you figuring out how to search all of the items and look at everything in a room so you can get the things you need to get so you can move forward and eventually stop a bomb or whatever it is. I don't know. Searching this forklift. Ah! Good, thank you. Yes! It's a good scream. Well, now, why is this one closed? Why can't I get back to where I was going? What? All my numbers are gone. Well, does that... I guess my question now is, does that Does the one I opened up down below stay open? Do I have like free reign of the facility, or do I have to... What do I have to do? A curious game for sure, and one that's kind of interesting. You know, again, I think if you... Oh, so I'm just stuck here, huh? Unless, maybe if I hit 7, now do I get my 7 numbers? No, because it keeps flipping back to 8. Anyway. That's Impossible Mission 2. It's a good noise. Hard to look at in the context of the platform. That is the... You know, ultimately, I think that's the... And it's, you know, that might sound really damning to the Commodore 64, where you go like, oh, a game like this actually stands out much better there. But part of the reason why it stands out there is because you didn't see a lot of big multi-screen platformers there that moved as well as this game did. The first one specifically. I think the sequel, again, I think some of the things they add to Impossible Mission 2, just in a general sense, no matter what the platform is, get in the way. They kind of outsmarted themselves. They wanted to be like, well, you need more weird tools in here for spy shit. But like the first game is not dramatically different from this either. So I think that it's a rough game, and it is definitely a rough game to get a pirated copy of for the Commodore 64, because you look at the tools you have of like these different colored puzzle pieces and stuff, and you're just like at a loss. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at, you know? And that's similar to the kind of rental experience on the NES that you get with a lot of games. But by and large, there are a lot of games where, you know, you'd think that the manual could help it, and they don't. You know, they wanted some of these games to be mysterious. They wanted some of these games to feel more complicated than they really were, and so I think there were a lot of games in this era that, if you lay them out, they're not nearly as crazy as they seem, but like the interface or the different things at your disposal are just so fucking much that it's just a little hard to get into. Yeah, Virtual Babalo says hacker for the Commodore 64. And yeah, well, so yes, I played hundreds of hours probably of Hacker. And I don't know that I ever finished it. I don't know that I ever actually finished Hacker. That's definitely a game where when you look at a guide for how to play Hacker for the C64, it's like 12 or 13 steps or something. It's go here, trade this for this, go here, trade this for this, go here, do this, look out for this thing, and go here, trade this, go here, trade this, give this person cash, give this person this, and it's not a very complicated game. But until you know that exact order, you're like, oh, well, this person traded me for the Swiss ski chalet. And this person, well, like, oh, wait, but I should have saved that because I needed to give that to the guy in this city instead of this. And, oh, man, don't get me started on Hacker. Australia, indeed. Impossible Mission 2 is a funky game for the platform, and I appreciate the idea of bringing it to the NES. I think some of the computer ports that we've seen on the platform have been like not as well suited. Like this comes across as the same game that it was. It's just a case of like, yeah, but that game's not great. And again, when you put it up against some of the screens and movement and visuals and style of other games on this platform, as opposed to games on the C64, like that, the path to seeing this as a classic franchise gets even cloudier. And, you know, as a result, I think we're starting on the right screen here. It's no Legacy of the Wizard. The Ultimate Stuntman is a better game. You know, it's like Fester's Quest is just a better look and feel for the platform. I think that's the... Like, I would maybe put it in league with a game like Fester's Quest in some sense, but but no, this is worse than the Three Stooges. Nah. The Three Stooges is a very similar case of like a game that like playing it on a computer where the expectations were a little bit different. That game was okay. It's not a good game. But I watched a lot of Three Stooges growing up, and so, you know, like I put more time into that game. The copy of Three Stooges that I had for the Commodore 64 was all fucked up, though, and like it did not load half the time. And it was a legitimate copy. It was like an actually store-bought copy. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it just didn't like the Commodore 128 and the 1571 or something, if there was something about the loading routines or something. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Three Stooges is more like... The Three Stooges is like if Mario Party was good. But that doesn't make it a good game. And Impossible Mission 2 is worse. It's worse than Renegade, that's for sure. Magic Johnson's Fast Break's a better game. The Adventures of Dino Ricky, Dinosaur Richard. That's a better game. Akari 3 The Rescue is a better game. Oof. That's a crazy sentence to say out loud about anything. Bases Loaded 2 is... Dig Dug 2 is a better game. The Cryon Conquest is a better game. But it's better than Sunday Funday The Ride. And it's better than Bases Loaded 2. So it's our new number 374. I got a baby in here looking at me. Oh, she's just playing with the window. Can't even see me. Better than Bases Loaded 2. It's our new number 374. That Scream is really good. It's a really high resolution audio for the platform. Like alarmingly so. And there you have it. Woof. That's an interesting one because, you know, you wouldn't think that game appeared on that platform at all. You know, it's very easy to just go like, what? Why would why would they port this to the NES in the late 80s? And the answer is because the NES was so fucking big, man, that it just got a ton of ridiculous ports that it probably shouldn't have gotten in the first place. But that's, yeah, I don't know. Like, that's, you know, it's funny because we think about the Nintendo seal of quality and you think about like, oh, there's, you know, they solved a lot of problems with the 2600 and all, but like the platform became so popular and Nintendo cared less and less the more popular it got, that I think that like as much as you get that kind of like amazing 88, 89, as you get into the 90s, and obviously once the SNES comes out, Nintendo's just like, yeah, fucking put out whatever, we don't give a shit. Like there's this weird cliff where suddenly there's just a billion games coming out and the quality just goes so all over the place. Some great games came out for the NES in the 90s, don't get me wrong, but like there's a rise and kind of we hit like peak NES, like it was like 89 or so. I'd have to look at a list, you know, broken up by date to really nail it down. But I'm going to say sometime in 1989 is probably that platform at its peak. And then after that, chaos. It's time for more hits. Chris wanted to see this one. Oh, this font is already rubbing me the wrong way. It's Alfred Chicken. This has the United Kingdom written all over it. Dizzy vibes. Yeah, maybe we'll listen to the phone message. It's always okay. I've never seen this before. I've somehow managed to stay away from Alfred Chicken. Can I peck these guys? No. Okay. Is the goal to get all the diamonds, or is the goal to get to the end? The B button doesn't seem to do much of anything. Where did is this a different level? Was that the end of the level? Everything just faded out and faded back up. So, okay, there's a button here. Well, we hit that. We can unpush the buttons. Okay, we're back here now. Oh, I see. Okay, and did me hitting that button make these blocks appear? It had stars on the... But it looked like there was maybe more to do in here than... Oh, God. Fastest completion with all 4 watering cans is what that... So, can I hit down? Okay, so if I hit down in the air, I can... Can I kill? There we go. That doesn't make this game any more entertaining. I know you're surprised. Okay, so we see the outlines of the blocks here. I got you. Okay. What the fuck am I... What am I doing? Why is this... Why does this exist? What is... Am I in a... Yeah, am I in a block of cheese? With what... What the fuck am I looking at? Okay, so those are moving platforms. And I guess I can use that to go back down there if I wanted to, but we probably just want to leave. Okay, and now we're back here, ready to have more fun. Now that we've established that we can ride on these, this is okay. All right. We got a watering can. It's fun. There's a bunch of springs. You get to bounce. Kids love to bounce. Let it bounce. Make it bounce. And I flew away on that balloon. Oh. You'll believe a chicken can fly. Thank you, flower, for blowing a kiss to that thing and letting me leave. And then the flower frowns. The flower is lonely again. I don't want to be an asshole, but fuck this game. Okay. No, now I'm over here. What? How many doors would... Why do I have an option? Is it, does it, will it... Why do I have a weird blob following me? We found the mysterious secret. It was an invisible block. Oh, which door? Here we got an E-tank. I'm gaming too hard. I can't. This is... What does this do? Nothing? Oh, it's just the centerpiece for this spinning thing. It's not a... Ah! And now we're all the way back here. I could go around for a couple more loops and maybe I could see what's in the A door or the B door. You know, if I really wanted to get all the fun out of the level, you know, like, all right, fuck you, fuck, whatever. Oh, we got another cool door. This snail was shooting. So I guess I could turn the buttons off with this if I needed to. Do I need to? I didn't... You'll believe a chicken can swim. Ba-dum-bum. Oh yeah, we had to turn the buttons off because we need to be able to free this guy. Da, 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 da. I got so into the music I couldn't handle it, but it's okay because we managed to solve our problem anyway. Music gets better every time they layer another thing on it, you know? Ah, you piece of garbage! Ah! Come on now. I should have stayed there. There's room for me to stand. I didn't have to. It didn't have to be this way. I probably missed a watering can or something really cool by not going through that door the right way. It's a sad state of affairs. We've got Fast Snail. That was not the one that was going to carry me away, huh? I thought that was going to be it and we were going to go somewhere, but apparently not. What the fuck? Balloons 1. So that's this one then, because there's a balloon at the end of this underwater section through here. That's cool. I love to have fun. You could add a button, make you move faster underwater, like a paddle button or something. You could have done something. You could have done something. With Alfred Chicken, the fun doesn't stop. I guess it being like an Amiga game makes sense, like why it's a one-button game like this. Like it really only uses the A button. Yeah, I mean, once you know what you're doing, you can just cruise through these levels, man. You're like, yeah, now I've got all the power. It's like they say, there is no knowledge that is not power. No, this game is not up for jump. It is down for dive, but the button is a jump button. That's it. You have a jump button, and that's kind of it. So you push down to dive bomb. We're back to the good music zone, as opposed to the first level, which was the bad. You know, that's where the bad music is. And now here we have the good music. You're welcome. Go, you asshole. The watering can was in C last time. This is a bad game. I think there's the best you could say about it is that it's maybe a somewhat funny bad game. Sort of. Oh, you piece of shit! Well, now we get to try one of these other doors. Oh. There was a phone number you could call. For Alfred Chicken. And it would play this.
This is Alfred Chicken, Super Alfred Chicken. Thanks for calling, and I'm coming really soon. Really soon, like the end of March, I'll be in every toy store, every department store, every place where they sell Nintendo games.
I'll be in the
And I work
stores.
first on Super Nintendo and also on Nintendo and Game Boy. I'm really cool. I'm way cool. Every magazine's talking about me. If you don't have me, you aren't cool. So get me now. March 23rd, you can find me. Alfred, help me find my girlfriend. Help me find the watering cans. That's a clue, kids. The watering cans. And look out for the mousies. Bye.
Yeah, those. So yes, I'm glad that chat and I are in sync here, and that that sounded like something between Paul Bearer and John Vignacchi's impression of Adam Boys. Okay. Now, put the phone call, as great as the phone call is, try make sure you put it out of your head, because we, obviously we can't let that skew the rankings. Sure, yeah, something in a Tiny Tim like vein, I guess. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's no Addams Family. Yeah, Alfred Chicken posted his own phone number in a magazine. Was that in a magazine ad that had the phone number in it? March 23rd, get the watering cans. That's a clue, kids. That's a clue. Get the watering cans. That's a clue. You can jump on the mountain. You can jump. That's a clue, kids. Don't get hit and die. That's a clue, kids. Toki's a better game. Okay. Here's a question I never thought I would have to ask. Is Alfred Chicken better or worse than Impossible Mission 2? It's better. I would rather play Alfred Chicken. Let's think our way into it a little bit. Alfred Chicken is worse than the Bugs Bunny birthday blowout, but it's definitely in the same line of work, if you catch my drift. Alfred Chicken feels like a bad Krusty's Funhouse, I mean, is way more explicitly a puzzle game. Whereas this is just like a fucking miserable little platformer. Castellian is a hateful little thing. Break Time the National Pool Tour is a better game. Castle Quest is better. American Gladiators is better. Menace Beach is Menace Beach. Menace Beach is such a fucking mess, dude. My phone started ringing. It's Alfred Chicken. Hey, that's a clue, kids. That's a clue. That's a fucking clue. Get fucked. There's things you can collect in this game. That's a clue, kids. Do you think they had the idea for the phone number and then like at the last minute, like days before the issues went out, and they realized that they're like, oh shit, we didn't record anything for the phone number. I thought you were going to record it. I know, dude, what? No, I'm not Alfred Chicken. You're Alfred. Who's the voice of Alfred Chicken? I don't know. What? At the last minute, they said, oh shit. Murder your parents. That's a clue, kids. Alfred Chicken is Alfred Chicken is. I'm just looking at these games and I'm just like, I'm just having a hard time placing it. I really got to focus here. Let's find bottom. Let's just, maybe that's a better way to think about it. Alfred Chicken is better than The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Even if Bayou Billy has better like audio. Yeah, I mean it's better than Bart versus the Space Mutants. It's better than Wally Bear and the No Gang. Okay, it's better than Bayou Billy. It's better than Time Lord. It's better than that fucked up Porta Family Feud. It's better than Jack Nicklaus's greatest 18 holes of major championship golf. But it's not better than A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's our new number 401.
This is Alfred Chicken, Super Alfred Chicken. Thanks for calling, and I'm coming really soon. Really soon.
Alfred Chicken
like
is coming really soon.
I'll be in every toy store, every department store, every cool place where they sell Nintendo games. And I work best on Super Nintendo and also on Nintendo and Game Boy. I'm really cool. I'm way cool. Every magazine's talking about me. If you don't have me, you aren't cool. So get me now. March 23rd, you can find me.
If you don't have me, then you're not cool. It's such a it's such a fucked batch of words, like the way they decided to write it and frame it in terms of you gotta get me, not like I'm Alfred Chicken, get my game. It's I'm Alfred Chicken, get me, I'm best on Super Nintendo. And it's like, was there even a script? Because it's like he says I'm best on Super Nintendo and then realize and Nintendo and Game Boy, like realizing, oh, I shouldn't shit on the other platforms because we're trying to sell those too. Like it's
Alfred, help me find my girlfriend. Help me find the watering cans. That's a clue, kids. The watering cans. And look out for the mousies. Bye.
Yeah, that's one take, no script. That's not, I mean, not one take. That's probably like that's probably like 20 takes. Help me find my girlfriend. Look out for the mousies. I don't know what. And like everyone around him in the office is just fucking cracking up. And this fucking dude is just talking into a fucking voicemail machine going like, oh, look out for the mousies. Get me on Super Nintendo. I'm the best. What are you wearing, kids? Super Alfred Chicken. Get me on Nintendo. You're not cool if you don't have me. It's It's troublesome. It's like really troublesome audio. The more I think about it, the less happy I am about it. And I think that was in magazine ads because it was like all the magazines are talking about me. Ugh. This ain't no turkey. It's Alfred Chicken. Oh, they got an Amiga 1200 enhanced version. Wow. Yeah, Alfred. Oh man, I bet that's a better game on other platforms. Like it would have to be, right? Like this almost certainly is probably the worst platform for the game. Yeah, it was CD32 also, right? Because there's a bunch of the CD32, the Amiga CD32 is a very questionable device already. And then when you look at the library available for it, it's a consoleized Amiga, which they already kind of did with the CD TV, but the CD32 is like a consoleized newer Amiga, whereas the CD TV was the old original Amiga, kind of sort of turned into a console. Bunty Hoven wanted to see this next one. This is an unlicensed video game. Can I P-spin? No. Let's go. Fucked up thing about this track is that just about the time it gets going is the end of it, and then it all just like falls apart again, back down to the beginning. Once you get this bass line, you know, like give me another little bit of this, and then it should have like a release, like a, you know, not a full-on drop, but just like we are here, like a, you know. Also, there are bombs. When you drop the bomb, it restarts the music. See right there, like, you know, if this had another like 20 bars, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It's a real, this is a real fucking disaster of a. Try level 9. Honestly, I'm surprised that there's different music. I would not have expected it. This one's worse, though. I can almost get behind the music that they had going in that first level. Almost. Like, it's bad. It's real bad. But let's try like level 5. You know, see, is there different music for every level? Let's see. Let's see. No, I mean, is everything level 1? Huh. Level 2, maybe? Ah. One time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? We made some Molotov cocktails and started throwing them at his dad's garage. We didn't think anything was gonna happen, but it did.
Totally awesome video games!
Oh, wow.
GameCube.
Telling you. A remix of that would the right remix of that would go pretty hard. Pyramid. There's another version of that, I guess, that and that if you, I think between levels, it will show you lewd photos of Cleopatra. I don't think it's photos. Drawings, lewd images. That version has the Hacker International logo on it, in addition to the Sachin logo, and was not released in the US. But it is, I believe, here called Pyramid Cleopatra Kikipatsu. Whatever the fuck that means. There was also a Pyramid 2 released in Asia. I bet that's good. You know, kind of just locking in, you know, like, hey, we're on to something here, but you know, a sequel to Pyramid, we think that we'll really knock it out of the park next time. We can leverage what we did here. You know, there were a lot of highly questionable puzzle games that came out in the wake of Tetris. Some of them ended up being good. They found ways to, you know, make them competitive and you know, all the different things that people did with Tetris and columns and bomb bliss, and you know, like there's such a long list of, you know, clacks, this is not the only one. I'm trying to remember, but this is not the only one that tried to work in triangles. There is another. This one ends up being bad, you know, like the what they give you pieces wise is like not easy to fit together. There are not a lot of great ways to fix your mistakes. Like the bombs feel very I don't know, like a patch, like we slapped this on here because we realized how bad the game we made was. And the, you know, the combo potential ends up being, you know, like somewhat limited for doing multiple lines at once. I mean, I guess if you lined everything up just so, you could do 3 lines in a row because that tall pyramid piece is, you know, 3 lines tall. But imagine setting up that type of action and the work you would have to do to get it just perfect, and the types of pieces you would have to be given to make that a reality. It doesn't work. I mean, you know, there's you could do this. You could make a triangle based puzzle game. I think that the pieces that they came up with, especially that little diamond with one chunk missing, is some just real fuckery. Like across the board, these pieces seem like they were designed for like maximum asshole. It's like that version of Tetris that someone made in a web browser that always gives you the statistically worst possible piece that you would need for what you're going for. That they figured out an algorithm to fuck you over at maximum frequency. This feels like every piece is one of those, you know, and it's the shits, man. Pyramid is really the shits. It's a poor product. We're at the right end of the list, I think, for this one. Musically, you know what? I'm going to tell you that I've got a real disturbing love for that track in Level 0 because again, I am convinced that if you really put the right drums under that and really added a lot more bass, like you could make that could function. But also it's broken and fucked up in a variety, like that track is fucked up as well, so like you would have to unfuck it along the way, and yeah, it's something, man. Pyramid, you know, it's got a little speech sample in there, and who knows what the fuck that even says. Your friends at Satchin put something in there. The wonderful world of unlicensed video games. And so this one did get a release that was in the NES, the cartridge format. And so that's, you know, determining, you know, was this game released in the United States? Yes or no. Sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, but yes, as I understand it, there was an NTSC release in the right cartridge format. That these were at some point shipped to the United States. The idea being that you could buy them and play them. It's a terrifying thought, imagining the child who ended up with a copy of Pyramid. I don't know. Dad was on his way home from the airport, and he stopped off at a convenience store that had Nintendo games. They had a bunch of weird porno mags, and then weird Nintendo games that no one has ever heard of. And so we got a copy of Pyramid. I'm going to go back next time and get this chiller I've heard so much about. This is just a really hard game to put on. When I look at the games down here, I'm faced with so many different conundrums. Chiller is a better game, though. I think we can safely say that. You know, Mermaids of Atlantis, The Riddle of the Magic Bubble, a similar unlicensed puzzle game. It is a better, fully realized take on the kind of on puzzle gaming than Pyramid is. It's worse than Bad Street Brawler. It's definitely worse than Athena. But like, I don't know, man. I have to let the science talk here, because there's part of me that is pulling for Pyramid in a way that makes no sense whatsoever. I can't even describe it to you. I think it's just because that track kind of moves a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, man, fucking yeah. And it's terrible. It's a terrible piece of music, but there's just a little bit of it that you're like, yeah, I could. But yeah, it does what it does, and it goes faster, and it's ugly, and it is conceptually broken as a puzzle game. So that goes a long way. Barbie is a better game. King Neptune's Adventure is a better game. Oh, you talk about a game that has been taking up space in my brain at a rate it does not deserve. King Neptune's Adventure is such a game. But I think there's aspects of Pyramid that doesn't work. You know, like it ends up being a situation where it's just like it can't it can't function. They give you these bombs as a means to unfuck your situation. They don't necessarily give you enough of them. They don't give you the tools you need to unfuck yourself, I think, is the actual problem here. There's no way where it's like, oh, well, now these blocks dropped here and did this, and there's just parts of this that don't work. And so you kind of just can't get out of, you like once you're in a bad spot, which you're going to get into a bad spot because the nature of those pieces, there's such fuckery in the piece design and the rate at which they're giving them to you that you're just like, yeah, this doesn't, it's really difficult to handle. And I'm going to seek out a video of high-level Pyramid play and see what that looks like. It's worse than Circus Caper. It's worse than Home Alone 2. It is worse than Stack Up. It's it's a puzzle game made entirely at random. It's a puzzle game like where they needed to, again, there's a concept here. There's a version of Pyramid that I think would work. But they didn't make that. They made one where all of those piece designs are poor, and the way it feeds them to you is bad. And the tools, again, the tools it gives you, like it's fundamentally broken, man. It's like they didn't stop to think, does any of this work in any kind of harmony, or is there any kind of situation here where this is like a game you could really realistically get better at? Or is it just, hey, you got to manage this as best you can, and you got to, you'll figure out a way to, you'll figure out when you want to use those bombs, but ultimately you're just kind of fucked. Like it feels like you're fucked from the beginning. Fucked at birth, FAB. It's a bad game. It's BAD. Balls, attitude, direction. BAD. Robo Demons is a better game. Is Pyramids worse than NFL though? NFL is so fucking bad, dude. No, you'd be better off with a copy of The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. That would be a better game to play than Pyramids. Pyramids. Pyramid. It's not Pyramid, that's for sure. Exterminator the Western Exterminator is a better game. Deathbots is a better game. Deathbots is a better game. Is it better or worse than the Uncanny X-Men? The Uncanny X-Men takes on a larger than life, a larger place here than it deserves because it's a licensed game, and it's a licensed game surrounded by unlicensed games like Deathbots and Secret Storm and Raid 2020. And so X-Men, it's tempting to, in some ways, X-Men is actually the worst game on the list because Nintendo looked at it and said, fuck yeah, you nailed it. Whereas these other games were at least made under cover of darkness. Like they fucking put them out like shadowy figures of chaos, put them out on fucking shelves and went, whereas the Uncanny X-Men went through lot check. You know? The Uncanny X-Men is such a fucking miserable video game. But Pyramid is like unable to perform the thing that it sets out to do. Pyramid is worse than the Uncanny X-Men, but man, I can't. It's not as bad as Raid 2020. Is it better or worse than Operation Secret Storm? Oh. I feel sick. I'm going to look at a picture of Operation Secret Storm. That eagle. Operation Secret Storm is a really terrible video game. Pyramid is worse. It is not as bad as Raid 2020. But Pyramid is, man, really, wow. Yes. Pyramid is, again, fundamentally flawed in a way that tricks you into thinking it is a thing that can be played and it actually isn't. That's the problem with Pyramid, is that you could fucking play it for a while and think oh, I'm getting better. I'm starting to put it together. But there are things about Pyramid that you simply cannot there's just fundamental issues with that game, and it's a very simple game, right? And so to get that wrong is murderous, ruinous. And so Pyramid is our new number 473. And there you have it. Yeah, Thin Chen getting it done. Absolutely getting it done. Nailing it. Is Pyramid 2 a porno game? I'm afraid to load it up. I'm afraid to load any of these up and show it on stream. This did not come out of the States, so we're not going to rank it. Oh, look at all this. I didn't mean to start the game. I just wanted to like the sound test only has, or the voice test only has one voice in it. This is it. It's 001. If you push down at the bottom of the menu, the game starts. So Pyramid 2, they decided to put these cool looking faces on the screen. So they give you more abilities to work with and a power that drains as you use them. Looks like the situation. Imagine making Pyramid and then saying, "No, we really need. There's more to be done. There's more to be done here." And I can't go up there to player 2 and change it to 1. So all it does is play 2-player. There's no single-player mode with one well, like in the original game. You needed to buy Pyramid 1. If you wanted to play Pyramid 1-player, you should have bought Pyramid 1. This is Pyramid 2-player. Also, again, if I push down from voice test, it just starts the game. Like the menu. Also, look at these guys in the upper corners with their fucking guns. This is special mode, where I have to shoot the pieces to get a piece. Man, they should have put this one out. This is dope. Someone finally daring to answer the question, like, what if Tetris had guns? And sometimes you can miss. And if you don't shoot, no pieces. Video games are really something else. Just means sometimes you don't get a piece because sometimes your shot misses. That was their idea for special mode. It's not like you can see what the pieces are and try to shoot a specific piece to get the one that you want, which that could have been something. Sorry, I'm staring at a squirrel clinging to the side of my house. Oh, this is majestic. I like a nice squirrel. I like a squirrel. How are you able to do that, buddy? It's like stucco out there, and you're just like clinging to it. Yeah. You gonna climb up there to where I left my weird HD antenna? Do you live up there now? Don't poop on my antenna. Just climbing up there. It's just hanging out on the wall. Just hanging around, man. Take a picture of this. I'll post it to Blue Sky if I can. If this fucking guy doesn't take off before I get the... Yeah, buddy. Look at this fucking guy. All right. I'm going to post that to the internet. And that's going to do it for today's show. Congratulations to Pyramid for destroying my brain in a way that that all I can really do now is look at this cool squirrel. Look at this fucking guy. Just hanging. Oh, I'm going to get a little action shot here. Oh, that I zoomed in too far. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Look for these hot images on Blue Sky. And yeah, man, if you want to suggest games for the list, sign up for the Patreon. There's bonus podcasts over there. You can get early access to the Hall of Fame, get an ad-free version of the main podcast, all that stuff. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. And I'll be back next week. I've got a podcast on Tuesday. And yeah, some more stuff along those lines. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week.